Good morning. How are we all? So, hello from both me and Fitz, because Fitz wanted to be on the live today. So, today I am talking about client success stories, and in particular, how goal setting is a really important part of those success stories. So, to give you an example, right? So I recently set up a budget for one of my clients, and in terms of the sales side of things, they are absolutely smashing it completely out the park, right? And it's really, really great to see that they're actually back to where they have been in the past in terms of their sales figures, but they're still pushing forward. Now, I'm really, really pleased with the sales side of things, and I want them to celebrate the fact that they're getting the sales. But, and there's a big but here, and I do not want to take away from the success of them hitting those sales. But one of the key things that I am seeing is that they're so focused on the sales side that the actual expenditure side isn't where it needs to be. Their cost of sales are too high, right? So I'm really, really pleased in terms of, and I want to be shouting from the rooftops in terms of the success in which they have achieved in relation to the sales. And I want to make sure that all of my clients really do celebrate the milestones of when they're hitting their targets, because ultimately you need to set goals to be able to have something that you are aiming for. And I kind of want to add in here a little bit here where sometimes it's getting a balance between setting goals that are achievable against actually setting goals that are way, way up here. Because actually, I want you to be aware that it is still a success even if you don't hit the actual target that was originally set. And the reason why I say that is often with my clients when I'm talking about goal setting, and they will be quite conservative. I was like, well, if you're conservative, yes, you'll hit the goal, but it's not going to be at the level that you ultimately want. So when I'm doing, for example, when I do a strategy session, I will ask a very key question, and that is, where do you see your business? If you could wave a magic wand, where would you see your business in 12 months? And this is a really important question because this is often where then I start drilling down on their goals. And I'm drilling down on the financial goals in particular. And they're often very conservative. And I'm like, that's great, but do you not want more? And the answer 90% of the time is, well, yeah, I do, but I want to be realistic. And you've probably heard me say this before, but I hate the word realistic because ultimately, do you not want to, if you want to achieve more, then achieve more. It's not a case of being about putting a realistic figure. If you want to have a 100K turnover business a month, then work towards it. There are things, obviously I help my clients put those sorts of systems and processes ultimately in place. But, yes, you need to do it incrementally. Like if you're at a £1,000 a month business, you're not then going to instantly be at 100,000. Yes, there's got to be the action steps and the reverse engineering to be able to actually get to that 100, going from 1,000 to 100K, right? But what you can do is then start to say, well, hang on a second, right? I'm at 1,000 now, for argument's sake, and I'm plucking figures. Well, I want to get to a £5,000 a month business. Then I want to get to a £10,000 a month business. Then I want to get a £25,000 a month business. Then I want to get to a 40K a month or a 50K or a 60K and so on and so forth. And that's the whole point, is you are then incrementally building it. But you need to have that end goal of, I want to be a 100K a month business. And then what we do is reverse engineer how you're actually going to get there. So don't think to yourself, well, £5,000 a month is nice or £10,000 would be nice. you need to think about the bigger level. And where I'm trying, on a mindset shift, I've been working with a number of clients now where when I've had those conversations, they have literally said, oh, 100K a year business would be amazing. I was like, well, do you not want it to be 250? And this is where I would say the biggest success that I am seeing is, one, businesses are now actually setting financial goals. And second of all, they're actually setting goals at a much, much higher level than what they would have done. And they're actually getting, excuse me a second, excuse me, my hay fever is bad. So apologies for that, sneezing mid live. But not only are businesses actually either smashing that large target they're setting, but they're, even if they get close to it, even if they're not actually getting past that target, the fact that they're getting closer to it. If they had, for example, and I've got a number of businesses where they've actually said, right, I want 100K a year business. If they had stuck to that goal, they wouldn't have got themselves to 150 or a 200, because once you reach that goal, you psychologically, you often then be like, oh, okay, I've reached it now. I can slow down a little bit. No. Whereas you want to be pushing and pushing. So if you say to yourself, well, you want a 100K business, but actually in reality you want a 250K business, well, in that case, then what you need to do to say to yourself, right, how can I get in the next 12 to 18 months to 250K? So when you do hit the 100K business, because that was your original milestone, then you celebrate the hell out of it, because actually you've hit that first milestone. And this is the key thing, and I was talking about this briefly yesterday, is you need to celebrate the milestones. When you get to, if you're currently a 50K turnover business a year, and you then start to get to the 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Each milestone, you celebrate. You celebrate every single one. So then when you reach that big milestone, which is your kind of end goal that you want to achieve, you then well and truly go and party. You take your team out, you celebrate. You show them you are grateful for their hard work. And this is the thing, right? When I see my clients smashing those goals, for me, I have a little party to myself, because I celebrate. For me, actually seeing those clients' successes ultimately is the reason why I do what I do. I want to see them succeed. So if you haven't yet set any goals at all for the next 12 months, or you have and you think they might be a little bit conservative, then you and I need to have a conversation. Let's get your business to where you actually want it to be. Let's see you celebrating those individual milestones to get to that end point that you want to, like all of my other clients, where they're hitting these milestones that they're achieving. I want you to be another one of those success stories. So if you want to be one of those success stories, then you know what you've got to do. You've got to book in for a free strategy session. The strategy session is literally a deep dive on your business, and we will focus on the goal setting side. All you've got to do is click the link. There's usually a link in the bio. I'll also put a link in the comments, and you can get yourself booked in for a free strategy session. It's a 45-minute session, and we will get your goals set. So thank you guys for listening. I hope you've got some value in terms of what I've shared with you today, and I will see you all very soon.